What up, Empresses and Taras and Queens and Goddesses? This is Michelle. I'm going to be doing an October 2018 forecast or reading for the Divine Feminine from the ages of 30 until 45. So if you find that you're in this age range and you identify yourself as a female or feminine energy dominant being, then this is going to read the energy that we have coming toward us for the month of October. I'm going to be doing a 4-card spread. The first card is going to be our energy. The second card is going to be energy that's impacting us in the environment or external influences. The third card is going to be a hope or a fear. And the fourth card is going to be the outcome for the month of October. So let's get popping. All right. So I've shuffled the cards already. I'm just gonna cut the deck one more time. You guys feeling the shift happening as Uranus shifted into Taurus back in May, and Jupiter went into Scorpio back in October 2017. We've had a lot of so balance. I'm thinking we've had a lot of changes going on in our power dynamic, which has been much needed and welcome. And, you know, the prediction that I see, and other astrologers as well, over the next 7 years, with this generational shift with Uranus and Taurus is really about, Taurus is ruled by Venus, and, you know, Venus is goddess of love. And so there's going to be more of a shift on the balance differential between the masculine and feminine, and more power is going to be asserted. And I know you can already feel it. A lot of women I know are starting businesses, closing businesses, leaving marriages, jumping into relationships that feel and resonate at a soul level, where, you know, as we're shifting into this higher level of consciousness, that does mean essentially we're tapping into it's too many cards. We're tapping into the feminine energy in the right brain. So, because that's, you know, where consciousness is, creativity, emotion, spirituality, intuition. It's all feminine energy and all located in the right brain. So we're going to be shifting in a way that I don't think has been seen in America. No, definitely not. Over the next 7 years, and we've already started to see it, which has been amazing. Okay, so our energy is the 2 of Swords in reverse. So this means to me that we have made decisions in October where we're no longer going to be addressing which way to go as this feminine energy. We're no longer going to be blindfolded to you know, the reality that we have choices and we have options. And, you know, just looking at this card too, it's like you see the moon right there just shining down on this woman, and this woman is blinded. She's blindfolded as if she can't see her way out. She's holding 2 swords, one direction, the other. And it's almost like in reverse, we're like, wait a minute, there's not only 2 choices. Like, we have a ton of choices and we have a ton of options, and we don't have to choose, you know, we don't have to choose being working mom. We don't have to choose being a stay-at-home mom. We don't have to choose being a woman who bears children versus being a woman who decides to be who doesn't decide to be a mother. We have options. We have more choices than the choices that have been bestowed upon us for as long as, you know, women have been alive, basically. So this is a card I like to see in reverse. The energy impacting and influencing us, we have the Strength card, and this is a great major arcana that's all about courage. It's all about tapping in and connecting into that stillness, that inner knowing that women are so intuitively tapped into. This is about, yeah, we're afraid. But even when you look at this card, there's that lion right there, right? And is there a man there or a woman? Oh, yeah, a woman. And the woman is the one taming the lion. The woman is the one, nurturing the lion, but the woman is the owner. I don't want to say that we're going to be owning men, but I think this really does imply the idea that we're balancing the scales, especially next month as we're in Libra season. This is, or October, I'm doing this in September. This is a really good opportunity for us to find the inner strength, to know our value, to know our worth, to know how we are aligning with that masculine energy. And the masculine energy is this lion, but the feminine energy is the one guiding and taming the lion, taming that beast with that infinity sign, you know, at the top of her head. And we move the collective forward is what I'm hearing. We move the collective forward. So we have a responsibility as women to tap into these feminine energies and reclaim them, reclaim who we are, reclaim what it is that we are being called to do in our world right now. So hopes and fears. We've lived far too long working against each other as women, and I'm over it. I mean, I feel very blessed that I didn't have a lot of that growing up, because I was in an art school where most people were right brain dominant anyway. But I know a lot of people that I've worked with personally that have had severe trauma from other women, whether that is in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, whether that's, you know, a cheerleading team or gymnastics or dance, whether that's, you know, our challenges with our own mothers. This has been something that our society has impressed upon us as a way of really oppressing women. So we're no longer there. We're no longer allowing ourselves to be blinded and to think that we only have these two options in life. And we're taking back our power. We're taking back the control. And we're doing it with grace too, because, you know, I love this strength card is like taming that beast, taming that masculine energy with love. That's the beauty of feminine energy. So what is a hope or fear? For women ages 30 to 45, or feminine energy dominant beings. So I'm going to go with the 3 that popped out. And then I'm going to use the fourth one that is the opposite way for the last, for the outcome card. So for our hope and fear, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords energy is cutting through the bullshit. The King of Swords energy is, you know, definitely has more of a masculine energy, dominant perspective. It's an intellectual suit, the swords. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So we also have the Hangman that came up upright. So to me, what this means is that we are, as divine feminine energies, reclaiming the masculine energy within us and taking action, asserting our sense of control, cutting through the lies, cutting through things that just do not resonate within our sense of self-worth, inner beauty, and the way that the masculine dominant society views women in general. We're cutting through that bullshit with the King of Swords and taking back our control. We're letting go of. So the Hangman can be an arcana that shows, you know, needing to let go, needing to shift perspective, and kind of just hanging out. As you see, he's like hanging from a tree. He's not really walking anywhere. He's kind of stuck like Chuck. So to me, I think it's like we're getting rid of feeling bound, you know, feeling held in bondage. Wow. So you see these two cards, they're like stuck, right? So we're getting rid of this idea that the truth, so this is in reverse, that the truth of the matter is that we aren't in bondage, that we are the only ones holding ourselves back as we reclaim our feminine energy, and as society and the world globally starts to balance the scales, which is, you know, Libra is the balancing of the scales. It's the karmic balance, it's the justice, and it's ruled by Venus. It's traditional ruler of the 7th house, which is the house of spouse and business partnerships. And this is about equality. This is about saying, like, no, enough is enough. We do not have to be held hostage any longer. We can assert our voice. We can use these words and speak our truth. And we speak them with intention. We speak them with strategy and calculation, but in a way that we're not over speaking, in a way that people will hear. And as you can see with the Me Too movement, people have heard and people are listening. And you know, for me personally, it's when that movement came out, it was complete validation that me speaking up years before that was a part of the process of this consciousness shifting and giving more energy as a mass of feminine energy, as a massive for women and for feminine energy dominant beings to step up and say, like, hey, no, you're not holding me here. You're not enslaving me any longer. We're not believing this injustice anymore. Like, we're cutting through this bullshit. This is truth. This is bullshit, and we're not about it anymore. And then, yeah, wow. So the outcome is the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is, doesn't take bullshit. The Queen of Swords is like that kind of, that like mother energy that's like, come here. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Like, it's not taking no bullshit. Like, you don't walk into someone's house and their mom is a Queen of Swords energy and not be afraid. So this is, you know, she's got her hand in one direction, as you can see. She's got the bird flying over, which is it's actually been a huge omen for me this past year, really, but since January, seeing the birds. And, you know, the birds symbolize rebirth and freedom and taking flight and spreading our wings and being who we are and honoring that divine feminine in us all, really. But as the feminine dominant energies, being female or identifying as female dominant, it's our rite of passage. It's our way of birthing this new generation, birthing this new equality and sense of, sense of truth and sense of boldness and courage. And we have our sights set in October. We have our sights set. This could have been something that we were navigating. So you could have been in a situation where you were either in a romantic situation, in a job, deciding whether or not to have kids, deciding whether or not to put up with, bullshit that you were dealing with in a relationship, deciding whether to leave, deciding whether to commit, deciding whether to move or relocate, or deciding to go for your passion and go for what it is that sings true to your heart and resonates most closely with that right brain connection of divine energy. And the outcome is that we're like fierce enough to be like, yeah, you know what? We've got our sword in hand. Don't mess with us. But we're going to sit back and we're going to watch and we're going to delegate. We're going to prioritize. We're going to eliminate shit that doesn't work for us and that is no longer serving. And we're reclaiming our throne. We're reclaiming our power. The king and queen, this is not a couple that is, connected to bullshit. So there's a lot of air energy here. As you can see out of the 4 cards, we have 4 swords in our spread. So that's important to know and to acknowledge that, we're either dealing with air energy, a Gemini, Aquarius, or we are integrating our left brain with our right brain. We are, and this is something that I've been really working diligently on for the past year and a half, going from more left brain, forced left brain, dominant, owned a treatment center, was CEO, like this is what you have to, this is what a strong woman is, to the complete opposite, where I was like, I want nothing to do with any man or anyone. And I, was in this sacred women's circle for a year and a half and really embraced this feminine energy, divine feminine. And over the last year, I've been like, wait a minute, like the last year and a half, really, I've been like, there's something missing within this divine feminine dominant perspective. Like we're not taking action. And in fact, one of my gurus did, kind of brought that into my perspective. Like, well, masculine energy is important. And masculine energy is action. And masculine energy says no to those men that try to take advantage or objectify you. And so this is really cool, because to me, what I'm sensing more and more as I'm working it through, is that we're coming into this integration of the masculine and feminine within us all, and finding more of this sacred balance and sacred knowing and, sense of respect for both sides. But in order for us to find that integration, we've got to really embrace that power that comes from being a woman. And let's see, I'll do one more card. This is the first reading I've done like this, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope this has been helpful for you all too. So let's see what we got here for our message. Ocean. Beautiful. So as you can see, I love this deck. The ocean is feminine energy. The ocean is flow. The ocean is water. The ocean is a seat of emotions, a seat of intuition. The ocean flows regardless, right? We don't have to force water to move. In fact, water morphs into anything that, that we pour it into. So this is about connecting to that divine source that is infinite, that source that is within us all. Where is that card I'm looking for? You see the ocean in the background in this as well, and you see the moon, and the moon represents mother in astrology, and the feminine archetype, and represents our emotions and subconscious mind. So this is about connecting to the divine, and that is all through feminine energy. Like I was saying, that's connected to the right brain, but in our body it's along the lines of our left side. So this is really, really great information. I'm really excited about what's to come. And even here, as you see, there's a woman supporting another woman. And I love that more than anything. Like, can we just support one another and create our own tribe here? We don't need to work against each other. It just doesn't even make sense. There's an abundance of need and desires and wants that people have. We don't need to compete. If a friend doesn't resonate with you and resonates with one of your friends better than resonates with you, then wow, like what a blessing that you connected those two people. And that's your karmic clearing. That's your karma that you get for doing something that is natural as women: connecting, trusting, feeling, sensing, living, intuiting. The ocean is vast, the ocean is wide. This is really tapping into how as a on earth, but as a society, how we are starting to see the value that we have suppressed. And a lot of this is coming because we've cut through so much of that bullshit. And so October, there's more of that. It looks like in our personal lives, we've been working on, shifting out of this place of needing a man or needing a masculine dominant energy to tell us what's okay and what's not okay, what choices to make. And as we do that, we start empowering ourselves, and we start softening our hearts and connecting to one another and supporting one another in the ways that we truly are needed to support each other in. Like, we truly need this sense of community, collective, love, connection, spirituality, trust, intuition. And it is us divine feminine energies that are dominant in our beings that are going to bring this forward. So let's bring it and not be afraid to speak our truth. That is our October reading for October 2018. I hope this was helpful. I know I kind of had some glitches, but I'm just going to roll with it because I'm a mama. I've got 2 boys I got to go pick up right now. And you know what? Imperfection is authenticity, and authenticity is love. And that's what we're all about. That's what I'm all about. Have a beautiful October, and it was really nice to connect. And please feel free to email me if you are interested in an individual reading, if you're going through this shift in your energetic body as a feminine dominant energy. I'd love to support you around that and help you manifest what it is that you came to do in the world. Please like, share, and subscribe, or all that jazz, or whatever. You guys probably know more than I do around it. And thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.